I'm Anne.
And I'm Monica, and this is the episode where we put aside our pride and our prejudice and talk about Pride and Prejudice.
Did you guys see that? Did you catch that?
These are getting lamer and lamer, I feel like.
So on the nose. Guys, we don't have time to come up with these two creative stuff. We got to put out these episodes, so
Exactly.
come on now. But
so if you can't already tell, welcome back to a new episode of Classics We've Never Seen.
Mm-hmm.
And today, if you couldn't already tell, we are covering Pride and Prejudice.
Ooh.
The 2005 specifically.
Yes.
2005?
Yeah, you're correct. 2005.
Film featuring Keira Knightley
Mm-hmm.
as the main character.
Yes.
I was going to say as the Pride.
As the Pride. As Elizabeth
Technically
Bennet.
she's the Prejudice, but anyway.
Yes.
Yeah, and we're going to be talking about that movie that neither of us have seen up until this week.
Yes.
So,
Yep. Literally. Well, obviously it's like another episode, so we're gonna talk about why we hadn't seen it, and also we forgot to mention that we are so dedicated to this, series that we read Pride and Prejudice, the book, guys.
Read
the
is
book.
a strong word. Yes.
Okay, I read it. Monica, I don't know.
Struggled.
She did. She opened it and saw words. Okay. that's
I'm a reader though. That's why I was sad because I was struggling. Anyways, we'll talk about that after.
We will disclose this after. But for now, we're gonna talk about why haven't you seen the movie, Monica? Why?
Honestly, I don't know because I like romance movies and everything. I think I don't know. It just never was the right time, the right vibes, I guess. I think it's because I've seen pictures and like clips and stuff.
Yes.
Online or whatever. Not that many, actually, like not a lot, but I don't know. I thought it was just gonna be some like boring old like romance movie
thing.
Yeah. And I just never got around to it.
I see. For me, weirdly enough, Pride and Prejudice totally fell under the radar. Like, I don't know, for a lot of classics, like in terms of literature and stuff like that, I just don't know about, because like, my parents aren't immigrants. They're not gonna be like looking that stuff up, and then if we don't read it in school, right, I just feel like if it doesn't get mentioned, then it's like out of sight, out of mind, and I don't get too many people talking about it until I got older. Like, I feel like, honestly, if I have to be honest, I feel if I think about it, the way I was introduced to Pride and Prejudice was likely some quirky girl in a teenage movie probably mentioned it and talked about how it's like the most romantic thing ever, and I was like, oh, so like romance people, connoisseurs like this book. Like, that's kind of how I was introduced to it, not organically like, oh, you should watch this. It was more like girls who like. For me, it was like things.
I know a couple people that I follow on Twitter really like it, and like are really like, oh, it's my favorite movie ever, or my favorite book ever, or whatever. So I was just like, wow, that's a high standard, but must be good then. I just never like really, I don't know. I just like I never felt like I feel like whenever I have to watch a movie, I have to be in the specific mood for it.
I see what you're saying.
I thought it was just gonna be like super dramatic, like
very.
Also,
much
it's just
like
British. I feel like British movies are just they have a certain energy to them. That I feel like you have to be in a specific mood for.
British fans are clutching their pearls everywhere. If we have any British fans,
I don't know what it is, but about British movies, I just like there's just like a certain thing about them, that I have to be in a specific mood for. Like, I'm not talking about movies that just happen to be like British, like British movies, like the ones that
purposely
are like
British.
I'm talking like Love Actually and like Angus Thongs and Perfect Snogging, like those types of British movies that are just like very British. Yeah,
it's a lot. Yeah.
Even though there are two people in this movie that aren't British, I was surprised to find out.
Who?
The younger sister.
Oh.
The one who was also in like the Hunger Games.
Oh, Joanna's like, oh.
Yeah.
I thought she's
American.
I thought she was playing an American in Hunger Games then. I always assume, because there's way more like British actors who will play Americans more than the other way around. Yeah. So I just assume like, oh, she must be actually British, and then like that's what happens.
She's American.
What about
and
Snow?
Donald Sutherland. Yeah, him.
Oh,
he's Canadian.
What?
Yeah.
Wow, he's good at what he does. Good for him. Right? And her too. Because I would think.
I mean, he might have an accent like naturally. I don't know. Like, old Canadians, how they have a little bit of like a
That's
a
true.
British accent to them.
When I watched Anne with an E, they were like doing Canadians, but somehow in my dumb head, like I really was like, oh, they're British, like somehow, because it's like in the old days and they have like a better way of speaking.
Technically, most of them were British.
Yeah, so. But they were like they don't have British accents. But I literally was convinced until I was like, wait, they're speaking.
Yeah,
like I should what? Okay, but yeah, interesting why we haven't seen it. But I felt like I needed to get around to it as like you've mentioned. I'm a big fan of romance.
Yeah, like we're both romance fans.
Especially, I don't know, recently though, I've been really, and it is a trend, like the Regency era trend. Like there's a lot more, like specifically
like the Emma movie.
Yeah, the Emma, Little Women, like all of that kind of stuff. Even I always talk about it, but Anne with an E too was like part of that whole like this whole resurgence. Bridgerton, like all that stuff of like
Bridgerton. I was like, I know there's another one.
Exactly.
Think of it.
So it was like a big resurgence, a renaissance.
That's true, actually. Yeah, I think if I hadn't watched Bridgerton and if I hadn't watched Little Women, I probably wouldn't have thought to even watch Pride and Prejudice, because like those types of like that Regency era type of thing was not my thing at all.
Usually, oh really? I'm a big fan of them, but I just don't go around to, because you know what I like? What I like about Regency era is that the drama doesn't have to be crazy for it to actually impact like the characters that much. Like I feel like nowadays
simpler times.
Yeah, simpler times. Nowadays you need to have like a real convoluted like extra plot, like you really need to think about it. But back then it could like literally be like someone said a rumor about a girl that she like, you know, slept with someone, which is sad, but I'm just saying like that'll completely you know, change everybody and they have to like go around scurrying. So I like that aspect of the story. And obviously the longing, I feel like they're so good back then. Like it's like I want to be with you but I can't because you're royalty and I'm a peasant. Like I like that kind of stuff.
It's just very like bare bones, like simple plots stuff, so which makes a lot of sense. Yeah. No, I think like when I went to go watch Little Women, like that was the first time I'd ever watched something, I'm pretty sure, like from that era, like classic literature type of era. Yeah. And like I was pleasantly surprised. I really liked it. So
I mean, you love Saoirse Ronan, so you should have clocked that you would have been like, aha, got him. But
that's true. But I like, in terms of like the movie itself, I thought it was pretty interesting. Like it was a good movie, so I was like, you know what, maybe I'll give it a chance. And I think that's when Pride and Prejudice started entering into my brain
to do it. Yeah, I didn't watch Little Women, but I watched Emma, the new one.
And I haven't seen Emma. Is it good?
Oh yeah, I loved it. I was really into it. Add it
to my list
because it's like they made it so much more comedic, which I liked, you know. And I think they kind of, I don't know, this might be presumptuous of me, but I feel like they kind of clocked in, like, you know, Clueless is literally based off Emma, right? So
it is.
Yeah, you didn't know that? Oh, okay.
I did not know that.
Literally, like when you watch Emma, you'll be like, wow, okay, literally the same thing. Like you'll see it. Yeah. So Clueless is based off Emma, and it's about a spoiled girl, which is Cher, who lives with her father, and he's like a widower. I guess in Clueless they made him like, you know, have a bunch of stepmoms, but like in the real thing the mom was just dead. And then she goes around meddling in people's business and like trying to set them up, and that's like kind of the plot of the thing.
I might have to watch it.
And it kind of explains, after I've watched Emma, kind of explains why they went with the stepbrother route. Now I don't get it. It's not what happens in the book, but I understand. It's her brother-in-law in the book, which I'm like, okay. No, her brother-in-law's brother. Do you get what I mean? Like
her brother-in-law's brother-in-law.
So her old I looked that up, but apparently it's not the same thing. But it's like, just to clarify for the listeners, her older sister is married to a guy, and that guy has a brother, and that's who her love interest is.
Oh, that's her. Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would have called them brother-in-law too, but then I looked it up, and apparently that's not correct.
It's basically like two sets of siblings.
Yes. Yeah.
Being together.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyways.
Yeah. Off topic.
Back to Pride and Prejudice. So if you don't already know what the movie's about, if you're like us, because I actually had no idea what it was about at all.
I did. I knew a little bit, but not like.
I did not. I knew it just it was the guy and a girl, and that's all I knew. But in case you don't know what it's about, so it centers around this girl named Elizabeth Bennet and her family, the Bennet family. It's like a family of like 5 girls, and the mom and the dad, and like they're not that rich. Like they're kind of just like middle class, like lower middle class type of people. And the fact that they all have daughters means that they're not going to inherit their estate or whatever. So the family's like stressing out trying to like marry them to like rich or whatever. So then like, you know, there's this whole thing where like her older sister, Elizabeth's older sister, has a little thing with this rich dude that comes to town.
Mr. Bingley.
Mr. Bingley brings his friend, Mr. Darcy, who was like Elizabeth's love interest. Right. And there's this whole thing where like basically they just hate each other immediately. Like he's like super stoic and like rude, kind of like he like talks shit.
Yeah, he really is talking smack.
And so she's like, yeah, I don't like him. Like he's a terrible person. So then like it's just kind of them like tiptoeing around each other, and then like he ends up trying to separate Elizabeth's older sister and Mr. Bingley, and then that's a whole other thing. And then you know, it's just stuff happens.
Yes, there's pride
happen, and
there's
then
prejudice.
Eventually they realize that like they actually do like each other, and then the older sister gets married, and then they end up together, and then happily ever after. But then there's also this whole side plot with the younger sisters. One of her younger sisters like runs away with this like army dude, which was like a big no apparently. Like they were literally like freaking out. They were like, you cannot, this is a disgrace to our family.
It is.
So then and then Mr. Darcy like helps them out. So then she's like, oh shit, he's actually a good person. That's the most terrible explanation I've ever given in my life. But you get the point.
I mean, y'all should watch it. That's what the bottom line. Bottom line. Wow, I can't.
Just watch the movie.
Yeah, watch the movie. And then we're gonna get into what we liked, what we didn't like. I guess I can go first because you were just talking. So I'll go with what I liked first. I liked the romance. I liked Elizabeth Bennet. Like I felt like her, even though it was Old English, I could still tell that she was snarky as any woman can be, which is great. She was just like, and I like that. Obviously, we're going to talk more about the book versus the movie. I do like that in this movie adaptation, he was more like introverted. Like his whole thing was like, I'm just not good at like he comes off rude, but that's mostly because he's not really good at talking. He doesn't like talking to new people.
He has reason to act the way he does.
Like he's just like, I'm not into this. Versus, I would say in the book, it was just like more, it was his pride and like that's it. Like he just had a lot of pride and that was pretty much it. Versus this book, it's like he is prideful. Like, you know, he does feel above people, but also at the same time, he's not really into socializing as much. He gets like, you could say like social anxiety.
He's less of an asshole in the movie, I find.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. So I like that about them. Like I like their dynamic. Like she's really playful and snarky, and he's really like quiet and shy and like super not that. So a lot of the interpretations she takes are like, oh, he's being rude, but he's kind of like, you're a lot. Like you're quipping words left and right, and I can't keep up. Like this is a lot. So I like that about them. I think Keira Knightley is so pretty, so I just have to say that.
I find that some like she makes this like face through like most of the movie when it kind of looks like she's just like jutting her lips out or something. Like, I don't know how to explain it because it's a podcast, but just the face that she makes. Sometimes I'm like, are you doing that on purpose? Like she'll like, it's like, okay, the best way I can explain it is like it's like she's pushing her top lip out, trying to make her lips look.
Yeah, she does like
that's what it kind of looks like.
Like a
I can't tell if that's
almost.
Just what her face is, or if she does that on purpose. But it was like that for like 70% of the movie.
Or when she was like smiling, so she'd be like super big grin.
Yeah, her like smile is so like you see both rows of teeth.
But she
was very interesting.
If I did that, I would look crazy. Like she was
somehow she still looks
like she's like, I'm cute, like my bad, I smile weird. Versus mine would be like, call the police, like this lady is
like, are you on something?
Like, literally. I like that. What was it? I love the scenery or like the photography. I think that's what I was trying to say. The cinematography, like they definitely made it more romance. Like the fact that they were in the rain, completely unnecessary, but I liked it. It's like it's just to add drama. Come on, like we love it. So that's what I would say. I like the most about.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the oldest trick in the book. Like, some rain, make it more dramatic.
Come on.
Yeah, no, I think I'm pretty much on the same boat. I really like the acting, like the design, like the set design. It literally just feels like you're in that era. Like, yes. You know what I mean? Like, just very good, like, cinematography and things like that. And yeah, I did like Darcy better in the movie. Yeah. Like, he's like, it's cute. Yeah, it's cute. And I like how it's kind of just like, it's pretty like fast paced, like stuff just like keeps happening. So it's pretty good to keep up with. And yeah, the romance is nice. I do like, I don't know if this will count as something we don't like, but I like the romance, but it's not my favorite iteration of a romance. Okay, I guess that's the best way to put it. Like, if you had to ask me, like, oh, what's the most romantic movie, whatever, like, I personally wouldn't say Pride and Prejudice, but that's just personal taste. Yeah. So what would you say is the most romantic movie? Or is that too early to ask you? Sorry. Oh, that's a good question, actually. Maybe we should keep that till the end. Maybe we should do that as our, like, fun question. We should make an episode on that, actually. Oh my gosh, true. Okay. we should make an episode on that. On the docket. Romance in general. Oh, let's write that down. Okay. She's writing it down. Tune in next time. Yes. I love it. To hear that answer. Honestly, yeah. That's sweet. And we can, like, discuss the most romantic movies of, yeah, okay. That's happening. Romantic couples ever, yes. Okay, oops. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, the romance is not my favorite, but, like, I get it. It's just not my like your thing. Yeah. But it was nice, you know. It's nice. I liked it. I enjoyed the movie. I didn't feel at any point that I was, like, bored or anything. The acting was good, like, good casting choices and stuff. And yeah, it's a decent movie. It's pretty good. It's good. What I didn't like, I guess if unless you have anything else that you kind of didn't. That's it. What I didn't, I don't know if there's. I'm kind of like, I don't think there's anything I didn't like. I liked the romance, like, probably a little bit more than you did. I agree with you. I don't think I would say but I don't even know who's my number one, so I have to wait on that. But I don't think they would be my number one. But I do like their romance. I liked it in the book and in their thing. I thought it was different though. I thought the book, for example, the declarations were way more romantic. Like, when they were, like, declaring their love to each other, it was really like wait, at the end, you mean, or in, like, the middle part where he, like, first said that he loved her? The end part specifically. Okay, 'cause I was gonna say the middle part where he, like, says that he loves it was super, like, anticlimactic. Like, he, like, it was just like, oh yeah, he just burst into my room and said that he loves me. Yeah. No. They made it more romantic in the movie for that one. Yeah, but the ending was super romantic. And also in the book, there is a scene where they're walking around, like, even before he, like, asked her again to marry him. There's like a couple scenes where they're, like, talking, like, after she found out that he did what he did for her sister. There's, like, a few scenes where they're walking together, and I thought it was cute. Like, the mom was like, "Oh, like, you're gonna have to walk with Mr. Darcy because your sister doesn't want to go with you," and she's like, "Oh, like, yeah, super. I hate that," but she's lying. But she's like, "I want to go," you know. And they talk to each other, so I thought that was cute. But even I can't even lie, because then the movie, the part where she's he's introducing her to his sister. Oh my gosh, that was so cute. So cute. Oh my gosh, when he, like, giggles. He's like a man. But yeah, I don't think I have anything I didn't like from the only thing I didn't like, which actually we could segue into our next segment, is the British ending. I did not like. Oh yeah, I have to agree with that. Yep. I hated that. I hated it. I literally was like, and, like, I get why. Like, okay, I guess we can just segue right into our next segment, which is the fact that, if you didn't know, Pride and Prejudice has two different endings. Well, not two different endings. There's basically the American version of the movie when it was released has an extra scene. Yes. At the end, but the British version just ends like that. And if with her dad, the ending of the British version is just when she tells her dad. Like, Darcy's, like, outside pacing, like, this is like when they decide that they love each other, we're gonna get married. She goes and asks her dad for permission, and like, he asks her first, and then, like, he goes outside and he's, like, pacing around, and then she asks him and then tells him all that he did. Like, he's like, yeah, he helped us out, blah blah blah, and he's like, okay, yeah, you can marry her. And then he's, like, super happy, and then she leaves. She just exits the room, and then the last, like, shot is just of the dad, and he's like, oh, if anyone else wants to come and grab my other girls, like, you can. I'm at my like highest spirits right now. And then that's it.
Are you kidding me, y'all?
And I was like, that's it?
Are y'all kidding me?
What do you mean?
Do the British hate a denouement? I don't understand.
Right? And like in the American version, there's like an extra scene. I don't know if I watched the right one. I'm pretty sure I did.
I think you did too.
The extra scene is like them. They're like by this lake. It's them, Darcy and Elizabeth. They're like by this lake, and then they're just like staring into each other's eyes or whatever, and then they like kiss, and then yeah.
Oh,
it's, like,
did you watch? Oh, maybe we watched different endings. That's not that.
Did we? That's
maybe.
I just looked it up on YouTube. And it had like a couple million views. So I'm like,
okay, maybe that's a different
what did you
one.
Watch?
No, there's another one where they're at his like house, and they're like presumably married already, and then it's like super popular on TikTok too. Apparently, that entire snippet. Where she's like, oh, you can only call me Mrs. Darcy when you're...
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. Because you said they just look at the lake and they kiss. I just thought you missed that part. Okay.
I said, like, I was going to say, like, they just, like, it's, like, just a super romantic, like, moment where they're just, like, by this lake and they're, yeah. She's basically saying, like, okay, you can call me this, or, like, you can call me Lizzie sometimes, but you can also call me this. And he's like, oh, what about Mrs. Darcy? Like, you can only call me Mrs. Darcy when you're extremely, like, happy or something, like, whatever.
Completely incandescently
like,
happy,
Mrs. Darcy, and it's just like, oh,
and the whispering and the kiss and the come on.
Don't even talk about that. That part was so good. So yeah, I was pissed as hell that it on the Netflix version or like the British version, it just ends like. And I read that it's like the Jane Austen Society.
Yes,
people, like people who like love Jane Austen are like absolutely.
You know what they said?
Have a scene of them kissing. The whole point is that it's the longing. Shut up. I want to see them kiss.
Did you hear what they said though? They said, "Oh, it's so sexual." Sexual?
What?
They were like, "Oh, it's so American to make it so sexual." I was like, "Y'all need to, but like, y'all are too uptight, man. It's crazy."
Nah, I get it though, because it's like, oh, people who want to like stay authentic, because in the book, like they never kiss, they never like even like touch each other, basically.
Yeah, but are they like in the book? It literally says they get married, they move to the estate. Do y'all think they're not kissing at their house? Yeah, you think
exactly? But I'm like, I think the whole thing is like, oh, the whole point of Jane Austen's essence is that like it's the romance, like the romance is not like, oh, them kissing, it's like them, you know,
talking or whatever.
So like I get why for the American version they're like, nah, we can't end it like this. People are gonna be mad.
Of course not. But I don't understand. Are the British not upset that there's no wedding scene then? Like y'all have nothing.
It just bothered me. I literally ended right there and I was like, that's it.
Excuse me?
Because like I went into it knowing there was another ending, because Anne told me, she was like, oh, make sure you like look up the actual like the other ending. Yeah. But if I didn't know that there was another ending, I would have been mad.
Which I was.
Like, that's it.
I was very mad because I didn't know at first. I had like heard of the scene, like the perfectly happy whatever. And like I had seen like still shots of like them kissing, let's say, like in general, like on the internet. So I was like, okay, something's wrong here. And I was like, is Netflix?
And then when it ended, you're like, where is it?
I thought Netflix was glitching, or I thought, this is what I actually thought. The first time it ended, I was like, oh, it's going to be like an end credit scene. Like that makes sense to me.
Post credit scene.
Yeah, like that totally makes sense, you know, on some end game freaking captain dancing with his girl. Like that's what I thought.
Yeah.
And no, I sat there like a fool, like skip, look.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like not a very satisfying, because like you have the whole scene where they like confess their love to each other, and then that's fine. But then like that scene is just such an anticlimactic end where he's like, okay, yeah, you guys can get married, and then she like, at least if it was me, if you don't want to add on an extra scene, at least show her leaving the house and then going to him and be like, hey, he said yes, and then he's happy, and then I don't know, make them hug or
make them hug and spin around, do that classic spin
like,
thing.
Easily just, or like, you know how the ending scene is like just the dad, they could have like showed the window, and then outside the window you see them like
like rejoicing.
Like that would have satisfied me a tiny bit more. But I was like,
I don't care about Monsieur Bennet smiling and grinning. Like
that was the only thing about it. I was like, nah, none of that. Like
it was too. I don't even get it because
no.
Because this is what I don't understand too. Okay, people who are in the Jane Austen Society, well, they openly hate this movie, by the way. Just like openly hate it.
It's like they don't like
it. I don't understand though. Like, let's say they met with the Jane Austen Society because they showed it to them first, and then they took out the scene. That's how that happened, right?
Oh,
you don't think that Jane Austen Society, y'all fought so hard to not have a kiss, but you didn't fight hard for Elizabeth to say something other than your hands are cold? Are you kidding? Are you
like,
kidding?
Yeah.
Because Elizabeth doesn't declare her love to him until her father. Like, we don't see. So I'm like, if you're not gonna have the whole romance part, just makes me feel like Mr. Darcy's all in and Elizabeth's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Or she's like, okay, fine.
Yeah. You're rich, I guess.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with that.
Silly.
I think the ending scene was perfect. I love that ending scene. So cute. And I just...
someone in the comments said, like, watch me tell my husband to still call me Mrs. Darcy because of this scene. Like, duh. Like, this is so good.
No, it's a really good ending scene. I wish they had kept it on.
It is really good. So good.
So, yeah, that... I definitely understand. The original, whatever, British ending...
Trash.
You're just missing, like, you're literally just missing that extra scene. Like, you can't just end it like that.
Absolutely not. This is a romance movie. We care about the romance, okay?
Right. And like, I remember what people I know that loved the movie and like the book and stuff were saying. It was like, oh, but that's the point. Like, it's so romantic, but they don't even have to like kiss or do anything. No, I don't agree.
I don't agree. And also,
personally, I don't agree.
I don't agree, but also, even in that scene, if they hadn't kissed, but he said the whole Mrs. Darcy and they like touched noses, I would have been okay with that too. Like, I'm not lying.
Like, you have to at least show some. So it's not even just the kiss; it's just like the
affection.
You know what I mean? Like, you got to at least show the conclusion of like.
Yes.
You know, so,
it's either you show affection.
They had to show her like hugging that, or like, you know, the whole spinny huggy thing. That would have been cute. But yeah.
Yeah, like,
what do I know?
Yeah, I don't know. Because even what's his face, Mr. Bingley and her older sister, I forgot her older sister, Jane.
Like, they didn't even show the proposal was off screen. Like, what the hell was that? I'm
like, sir, ma'am, sir. What am I? And like, I find her crying at the end. Like, I want to hear her say like, I've always, like, you know, even though I haven't shown it, it's always been you. I don't know. I'm not the writer here, but like, do something, okay? Ridiculous. I need, especially in those Regency era where people declare love in such a romantic and beautiful way. I want it all, okay?
Yeah.
Like,
the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, like in Bridgerton when a homeboy was like to the queen, yo, I found the hottest shawty in my best friend.
Oh, I was gonna say the part where he's like, I burn for you.
I burn for you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just, he said, oh, it's one thing to find your best friend, but to find your best friend in the most beautiful of women is another thing entirely. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I died. At least died.
Yeah.
But today,
anyways, I would say that's the only like qualm I have with the movie is just the ending. But other than that, I thought it was pretty good.
Yes, I enjoyed it.
Didn't have any complaints. No major complaints about it.
I thought it was cute. I rewatched scenes. That's always a good thing.
Like, I would definitely rewatch it.
Yeah,
like, I would have no problem rewatching it.
Oh my gosh,
so that's a good sign.
Especially with friends, I think it would be so Darcy. Cute.
I like the guy who played Darcy. I feel like he played a good...
Yeah, and a lot of people didn't... Darcy. So what I did too was... Okay, well, now we're going to get into the book versus the movie versus the old movie. Because I didn't watch the old movie.
Oh, I have not watched the old
I'm not that dedicated.
By the way, let me just clarify it in terms of the book. So
yes.
I read the first half of the book. And then I kind of skimmed through the second half and then Spark Notes the rest. Because, well, I'll be honest, the book was painful to get through.
It
not
is
because
long.
it was bad.
It's long.
But just because it's... The way it's written, I just hated it. Like... it was so like, I felt like I was reading a book for school. Like, first of all, I had no idea what was going on half the time. Like, I just can't, like, that, my brain just doesn't compute.
Yes.
That, like,
old
style of writing, like the old style of writing. It just doesn't, like, it goes 1 year, like, what is it? It goes in 1 year, comes out the other. Like,
yeah.
It just, nothing makes sense to me half the time, right?
Nothing makes sense.
So there was that. And then there's also the fact that, like, it was just very little, like, I guess that's just the style, her style of writing, or the old style of writing. Just very little, like, description of anything. It's just like dialogue most of the time.
Yeah. And
then when I can't understand what they're saying, I'm not getting anything.
It isn't. No, like, you definitely have to, like, I advise you, I was like, get some Spark Notes, because there's like a lot of nuance to it too that you can't get. Like, there's a character, Mr. Collins, who's Elizabeth's cousin. In the movie, it's very clear that he's like a weirdo, like he's awkward. Yeah. But in the book, I didn't get that at all from the book. I didn't get that until I read it in Spark Notes. Like, they were like, the way he talks is weird, and I was like, that's just kind of like an era thing, because I feel like, obviously,
how am I supposed to know that?
Yeah, because if you read it now, you're like, okay, isn't this how people talk? Versus if they somehow translate it to like how people talk now, then you would be able to catch that kind of stuff, but you don't, you know?
I feel like maybe I would give the book a second chance. Like, I feel like I would want to have like a physical copy of it. I didn't like reading it on my phone, so that was that. But I would give it a second chance, but just by my experience now, it was a painful to get through. I was just like, I felt so bad, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna spark notes the second half and then watch the movie, get it through. At least I got a good feel for the characters,
the whole thing. I read the whole thing. I'm one of those, like, I can power through torturous things, which I don't know what you do, but
if I'm not enjoying a book, like, I'm the type of person, I just like stop. Like, I'm not gonna read it. You know, I know people who don't. They're just like, no, I have to finish it. Nope, if I don't like it, I'm not.
You're not gonna do it. Yeah. No, I'm one of those. I will finish. Like, I'll finish most shows, most TV, most whatever, just so I can talk smack for real. Yeah. So no one can be like,
I wish I could do that, but I just can't. It's like, why am I wasting my time if I'm not like,
no, I need it so I can go talk smack to people, which is like a concern in itself, but whatever. I enjoyed the book though. It is long, it is a lot. There's a lot of scenes too. Like, her style is, instead of like longer chapters with more stuff happening, she does like a lot of scenes. Like, it's almost like a really long movie. Like, instead of having like, oh, this is what happened in the book and like this is the dialogue, she'll show like scenes in a ballroom and like people talking, and the whole chapter will just be like one scene in the ballroom. Next chapter is like what happened after. So that is oops, my mic, sorry. That is what makes it like pretty long, I would say, in terms of like, there's a lot of stuff that you could cut. Like, there isn't a lot of things happening, you know. Or two, sometimes it's just the time. Like, in the book, they just skip to the time where she's like visiting the place with her uncle. Like, they'll just skip to that time. In the book, they'll actually show you stuff that's happening between then and that, now that she goes to visit her like uncle, you know, and sees Mr. Darcy. Like, there's way too many scenes where Mr. Darcy's not involved, and I don't love that.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot more detail in the book for sure. Especially like a lot of the side characters are way more developed in the book, I think.
For sure.
But honestly, I don't really mind in this case, just because I found the book very difficult to get through. That's why I was like, I don't mind that they took it out.
They cut a lot of things.
I like the movie, so I was like, you know what, I'm cool with it.
I feel like, I like the movie. The only thing I would say is maybe I feel like they could have done the sisters more in the movie, like Lydia,
one sister that literally had no idea who she was.
Like, there was like Mary. I literally, even in the book, I forgot Mary. I thought Mary was her cousin for a good while until I realized that
I thought there was only 4 of them, and then this girl is there. I'm
Same.
Like, is she a sister? Like,
when I read it, I was like, she has 5 sisters, the 5 girls. I was like, where? There's only Quattro. Like, what are you talking about?
Mary's kind of relevant.
Mary's just kind of there. But I was feeling like they should have, in the movie, they should have done more Lydia. Like, you could show scenes of like Lydia being naive and like a little bit more, like show her chasing boys. Like, it's very clear so that people can get more foreshadowing of like what's gonna happen to her, you know, later. Because I felt like they did that well in the book, but not as much in the movie.
Oh yeah, I mean, like with any book to movie adaptation.
Yeah, for sure. Always, but it was was it technically, I shouldn't say I enjoyed the movie. I don't know. I understand if people don't think it's a good adaptation, because technically it's not really.
Yeah, no, I get that. I think the reason I like the movie so much is just because like I wasn't a big fan of the book, so I was like, cool.
No, it is.
Like, if I loved the book, I probably would have been like a little
for
bit
sure. But I don't get why they're so upset. The only thing I would argue from Jane Austen people is, you guys have the 95 version, which is exactly like the book, like point blank period, like the words are the same. I watched like a couple scenes, like mostly the proposal scenes, just to see like how different they were.
Like miniseries version.
Yeah, they did a miniseries version too. No, there's a movie.
Which one are you talking about?
And then, isn't there a movie, or is it just the miniseries? It might be the miniseries.
I remember reading something about how the miniseries is the one that everyone likes.
The Colin Firth one. That's what I'm referring to. That might be the miniseries then.
I think it's the BBC miniseries.
Yes, they have that. So it's like, if you really wanted just like full on the book in live action, and it came out years before this movie, so I'm like, to me it's clear that the 95 is for like a piece, like a period piece, like people who want to see like exactly what it was, the kind of thing that you would watch in school if they're like, let's watch like how it is, you know. But 2005 is more which I would compare the 2005 version to like what they're doing with Little Women and Emma now, which is like, it's for people to know the story, but to like enjoy it as a movie, not as a novel.
It's for like the newer generation.
Yeah. So it's like
in 2005, like
yes,
different generation, but you know what I mean.
Yes, for sure. It's like to appeal to a wider, and it did its job. Like it's one of the most like critically acclaimed romance movies, I'd say. Like, or like, what is it? Not critically acclaimed. What is it when people like it? Sorry, public audience enjoyed, loved, whatever. Oh my god,
the audience enjoyed it.
Yes,
widely received. I don't know.
I think that's right. Widely received. Oh my gosh, widely received. Let's just go with that. Romance movies, you know. So I think, and I agree with you, Mr. Darcy. Sorry to the Jane Austen Society. Blah blah blah. Mr. Darcy was way better in this movie than he was in the book. Like in the book, he was just rude. Yeah, in the book, he's like, your family sucks. They're dirty, and despite that, I like you.
Well, he kind of said that in the movie too, but then like, you know,
he said it.
He like redeemed himself.
Yeah, after. He redeemed himself, but also in the movie, I just felt like he was like, I don't know. I feel like they established him as like a shy, very analytical person, kind of like
stumbling over his words a little bit. That's why he like didn't mean to say it like that.
So then he's like, "Oh, sorry, like I didn't mean any harm." But then she's like going in on him, and then he's like, "Well, like honestly, your family is kind of dirty. Like, what am I supposed to do with that?" Like, I felt it was more genuine.
Like, did I lie? No, so
no lies detected, sir. So I felt like it was more genuine in the movie. Like, oh, a slip of the tongue, but then like, I feel like it's like slip of the tongue, but also it's like, you have to be realistic with me. Like, it is true, sir, man. Yeah. Like, you know, I am like, you know, back in the day, she would not talk to him like that, bruh. Cause like in real life, cause like money, like this man is rich. You would just be like, shh, I can get my family out of poverty. So I can understand
exactly
why he was somewhat prideful, but you know, then she put him in his place, and then he's fine in the end. So
that's good. Yeah, no, it's that's the one.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. Wow. So
what rating? I guess, are we already at this point?
Yeah, we are at this.
What rating would you give the movie? We're rating the movie, not the book.
Yeah, we're rating the movie, not the book.
What rating would you give the movie?
This is, I don't know. I don't know if I'm in a good mood like these past few weeks because there's not that many movies to watch. Maybe that's what it is. But I'm actually, I don't know. Okay. I would give this movie.
Okay, wait. Give it a score without the extra ending, and then a score.
Oh, without the extra ending?
Extra ending was put on there, yeah.
Okay,
this is both feel so strongly
crazy.
About the
yes.
Extra ending.
So without the extra ending, you get a B+, my friend. Okay. If not even a B. Okay, because that stuff makes me angry. My blood was boiling. With the ending, it's on a good day. Really, it's an A. On a normal day, it's an A-. But like,
I get it. Yeah, yes. I was literally gonna say the same thing. I was gonna say without the extra ending, I'd still think I'd give it an A-, just because like I did still enjoy it.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
Like whatever. But with the extra ending, easily an A.
Yes, it's just like
easily.
Ugh, like I found myself rewinding it so many times.
You know what I mean? Like it's a nice movie.
It is.
Nothing too serious. It's just like it's
nice.
Pleasant. I think that's what
I know. I felt warm tinglies inside. And you know what's weird? It didn't like make me want to have a boyfriend, which I really enjoyed.
The thing about it.
It was like so romantic, but I was like, I can't find this
nowadays. It's
not
not
one
of
of
those romantic movies that makes you sad at the end. Where you're like, I'm never gonna have that. You know what I mean? Like,
it was just like, wow, look at these people in love, and I felt good for them. You know?
Yeah. No, I agree. I would give it like, I think it's an A-. I just if you're gonna watch it, just watch it with the extra scene. I would say, like, don't listen to what people talk. Just do it. Like, it's a very good extra scene. It's very romantic.
Ridiculous.
It ties up the whole thing really nicely. So
yeah, I can't believe they would do that. No, apparently here, if you want to get it, you gotta buy the DVD, and that's when you get the real thing.
Just go on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Just go on YouTube. It's fine. Wow, guys.
That was nice.
It was.
I think the general consensus is it's a good movie.
Yes. And we're glad we watched it, for sure.
Yeah, no, I'm glad I watched it. Now it's like, I feel like I understand now when people say, oh, it's like a comfort movie, or like, if I'm just sad or whatever, I just put it on. Like, I get it. I would
totally get that now.
If it's like a rainy day and I just want to put something on that's like nice and just to, you know,
make you feel
enjoy
good.
myself, I would put that on.
For sure. I feel like it would be so like calming, and you'd be like, and it's a very unusually super happy ending. Like everything that goes wrong gets wrapped up, like very nicely. So
no, it is really nicely.
It is. Like,
I liked it.
Yeah.
I also like the scene when he's walking through like the misty field. Oh, it's like the most iconic scene.
With
that's a good
coat going.
Oh, the long coat. Yeah.
Why did I? This is disgusting though. When I saw it, I was like, Doctor Strange.
No, I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
His cape moves with him. Like, no, my gosh.
I love a man in a long coat.
Oh, of course. I do too. I really like it. It's nice. But
well, they have the extra scene. I'm just like on YouTube looking at the extra scene, and like Universal Pictures, like on their YouTube channel, just has the extra scene.
Yeah, they do. I think they
were
like
some random person that just uploaded. It's literally Universal.
It is because they were like, ugh, the British won't let us, but we gotta have it here. You know that?
There you go, guys. Yeah, exactly.
Can't believe it. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, I guess that's it for this week's episode of Classics Never Seen. We have now seen Pride and Prejudice.
We have,
which is like honestly kind of blasphemous considering our thing is the flick chicks.
I know.
It
is embarrassing. That's why we had to like shove it down.
We had to get to it eventually. This has been planned for like months, by the way. We just because we knew we were going to read the book. We knew we needed to give ourselves some time. And we're finally here.
Yeah, we're finally here. So we're part of the crew now. I feel good.
We're part of the crew. I get it now. I get the hype around the movie.
I do. All right, guys.
So yeah, if you like this episode, make sure to give us a 5-star rating wherever you're listening to this. Make sure you follow us on Instagram at FlixChicksPod, and make sure you tune in for our other episodes that are coming up next time. I don't know what they're going to be yet, but you do know that at some point we're going to be talking about our favorite romance movies. So there you go.
I'm so excited for that.
Get excited.
Yeah.
I am excited now, actually, now that we think about it.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to really
and yeah, really so we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for listening.
All right, bye.
Bye.